What is up, good people? Crypto Prepper here on Monday, December 15th, 2025. Man, how time is flying. So last week we finished out with our top 10 series, setting up bots on these separate coins to optimize for the bear market and whatnot. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and continue, and we're gonna set up a bot on Bitcoin Cash. So this one is a pretty interesting chart here because over the last year, from December 15th to of 2024 to December 15th of 2025, it's basically stayed flat. So similar to, I think, Dogecoin, maybe it was that had a similar looking chart, and this one looks like we may have seen more volatility down to the downside because it looks like it got cut in half, um, and then came back to 640, 620, and then back down to 529. So anyway, uh, this coin's been around for a long time. I don't know how long it's been up near the top 10, uh, probably a while, so, um, and then, oh yeah, this is the chart in Bitscap. So anyway, what I did was I set up a bot on Bitcoin Cash USDC pairing on Coinbase and started playing around and got a return here of 67.99. And I started out when I initially ran my initial settings, it was in the high 30s, and which was more than I expected based on the way the chart looked. And so even with this one, we do have a little bit of naked chart here between February and March, and then middle of March until April. So not necessarily ideal for, like, I like to see a lot of activity throughout here, but I could not, in any of the settings I did, I couldn't really get rid of this naked part, but I can't remember if I could or not of this. But that's not always, that's really the secondary goal of setting up these bots is to have a consistent income. But of course, our main goal is to maximize our profits, right? So I'm going to run through the settings here real quick that we used on these bots, and then touch upon a couple more things that I wanted to make you guys aware of. Okay, so 3125 on a base order amount, 968.75 on the averaging orders amount to equal 1,000. So we always start out with this 5. I had started out with 5 and found that 3.3 on the averaging order step percentage worked better for this coin over the last year. Then our amount multiplier is always at 2, our step multiplier is always off. And then our take profit, I actually haven't played around with this because I was like already ecstatic with that 67.99%. But one of the things I did want to point out that I don't think I've pointed out before is that once you set up these bots, you can actually, um, let me show you. So once you've set up these bots, you can actually go in and click the bot. So you can see here, this is XRP bot on Kraken. Um, we had a nice little dip so far today, and it caught another buy. So, you know, whether we can get down to this 180 to get another buy, I don't know. We'll see. It's a pretty strong resistant there. If we break that 20, if we break that November 21 support, that could not be good, or could be pretty bad. But anyway, then it'll just keep on buying, So, but uh, So that's one of the things I wanted to show you. So you can change that take profit. So if you didn't think it was going to get back up to 205 to take profit here, you could go into your bot actions and modify bot here. So then you can click over. So you see how all this is grayed out. You cannot change these. I don't know why that doesn't, I don't know why that's like that. But you can go to your take profit uh, category and you can see how you can change this. So I don't know how I ended up with 2.8 on this, but uh, anyway, you could change that up a little bit if you wanted to. But ideally, what we want to do is we want to try to set these and forget them. But if you foresaw a time in the market where you're like, oh, you know, maybe we are in this bear market and maybe a lower take profit percent is a better option. So you definitely going to want to go run your back tests again. Um, and I guess unless you have that advanced, the most you're going to go up is 30 days back test or 180 days back test for the advanced plan. But even 30-day back test, you can kind of get an idea and try your best to extrapolate it, but it's not always going to be the best action. So anyway, let's see. So let's see if I go down to 3%, if I can beat that 67.99. I'm dropping down quite a bit here. And no, not going to get close. So let's go 5.1 and see if we can beat that 67.99. So it's not looking favorable. But even if because past performance doesn't equal future gains, so you're not going to see necessarily exact, and maybe even guaranteed, and not necessarily, but it's pretty much guaranteed that you're not going to see the exact same thing pan out. And what's going on here? Because I thought I had 63. See what my bot settings look like. 3.3 still. Take profit. Okay, that's not on. So you're never gonna see uh, that exact um, that exact return because the coin isn't gonna do the exact same things done. So what you could do just to get in the proper mindset is to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to find a good um, take profit percent and a good limit order distance here in between these different limit orders. And then if I don't hit the high, it's still 58.95% return over the year. So, which is obviously nothing to scoff at. It's crazy that you can get these percentages just for holding, just for creating this bot and holding Bitcoin cash in this case on Coinbase. So, and that pays you directly into your wallet or your USDC wallet every time it hits a take profit sell order. So we have a lot of 155s. Here's a good one, 25 bucks, 623 here, and you're getting paid, and that's just going back until April, or not April, November 17th. So you're getting a nice consistent income just straight into your USDC wallet. So, at 63.46% APY is pretty damn good. And then that reminds me, here's the other thing that I wanted to mention. And I'm glad that you stuck around if you've listened this long, because this is a nice little nugget. So with the BitsGap software, it automatically update your trading fee based on your current uh, Coinbase or Kraken or whatever exchange trading fee that they have. So Coinbase actually starts at 0.25, and then if you have enough trading activity, you have enough bots set up, you could have the volume needed to decrease that fee. And so in the previous videos, and I'm going to have to go back and redo those maybe with this different fee to kind of give you a better idea of what you might be able to expect with the current quote unquote starting fee of this 0.25. So the other videos that we did gave us a trading fee of 0.12, which was the my previous trading fee percentage based on my volume, but with the slow market the past 30 days, because they updated every 30 days, it's actually gone back up to the regular standard 0.25. That is so weird because that was just 63, and now I got 67.99 again. So I'm not quite sure what's causing that discrepancy, but you know, getting even getting half of this, okay, that's 30, what, 34%. That's crazy that you can get that through these bots on Coinbase. Uh, you can't get that anywhere, any other way. Staking, loaning, you just can't beat it. So, you know, of course, you guys still have your conviction because if you're going to hold Bitcoin Cash, if you don't have a long-term conviction on this, then, it could fall below this range and then you're going to get frustrated and then not have that conviction to stay in it until it goes back up. So you gotta do you and figure out where all your risk settings are in your mind and how you can handle everything. But anyway, hopefully you guys got a good nugget from this, and I'm glad you listened to it, and hopefully it helps you out in your journey here. But anyway, give me a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and get some of these random nuggets in between rants. And uh, then throw your favorite coin in the comments. All right, guys. All right, thanks, man. See you on the next one.